Mr. DePillo?
Yeah!
Well, good evening, and thank you very much, everyone, for coming. I'm Alderman Larry DePillo, and I'm an alderman with Frank Burgio, and also Minority Leader Cicero Booker, Ryan Bouquet. Okay. Is that on? Is that on?
Yeah.
Hold
okay.
it down.
It is on your louder.
All right. You know, as Frank said, in this budget process, we could have had a zero tax increase this year. It meant some sacrifices in raises that were given to the unionized help this year, and it meant givebacks from people who were department heads, many of whom do not live in the city. What it came down to is we did get some concessions from some department heads, but when it came to layoffs, when the unions found that we were serious and going to lay off a couple of people, they gave back a little. When it came to the rank and file, and they did not give anything back, and there were no layoffs. There was over 5% savings in the health department that Mayor Jajura did not allow to be cut. When I say Mayor Jajura, it's his majority that was in charge of the budget process. The mayor had a $13 million one-time savings from pension obligation bonds that we talked about selling for a number of years. He rejected it. When he did, there was an immediate $13 million savings. He had an opportunity to give back to the people at least $8.2 million of that. He gave back $6.5. He put the rest in a slush fund to be used for furniture for City Hall that was not authorized, in a slush fund to pay for potential disasters in the city for which there's already $30 million in contingency. So they had so much money. Understand the way this works. The city of Waterbury cannot have more than 5% of its monies in a contingency account. Otherwise, it has to pay down bonds. The mayor, with the $13.2 million, would have had too much money in the contingency accounts. So what he did was he put $8.5 million into various accounts, $1.2 million into a slush account, and then took $6.5 out and said, "Well, I gave you as much as I could give you." Absolutely not true.
Why?
And in addition to that, there were a number of givebacks from departments that the mayor refused to allow the aldermen to take the givebacks. So this was all about Mayor Jajura and his wanting no more than a 1 mil tax cut up front because he did not want it to look like the Board of Aldermen had to do his job. And the Board of Aldermen was more than capable of giving a zero tax increase this year, but was not allowed to because, unfortunately, the mayor's politics took precedent over given a zero increase to the taxpayers this year. As far as the water department goes, the water department has zero debt. For all you hear about, you know, they've got to spend money to reline pipes and do all of that, that's what you use bonding for. And the water company has the assets of the reservoir system to bond the money necessary to repair the infrastructure of the water company a little bit every year over long term. They don't want to do that. They want to keep the water department debt-free because they're now making their second attempt of being able to spin off the water system from the citizens of Waterbury. First time through legislation on Hartford, which they had to repeal. Now through some kind of a scheme for a hydroelectric system that is going to be run by some third party who will ultimately have a major say in how and when we use our water. So all I can tell you is Mayor Jajura is not serving you well. You could have had zero increase this year. You should have had no increase in your water rate. Obviously, that did not fit with his political agenda. We'll do everything we can to check every single dollar as they propose to transfer it or spend it, and try and save as much as possible so next year you can get a reduction. I'm sure being an election year, He'll not raise taxes, and somebody will want to give you a small reduction. We'll remind them that there was a 1.9 mil increase this year that has to be reduced next year in addition to a zero increase. Thank you very much.
Well, there's not much to say other than I was one of the 5 aldermen who were chosen to serve on the budget subcommittee, a subcommittee that was empowered to do the business of the people. Unfortunately, I was the only independent on that board. There was 3 Democrats and 1 Republican. And when we first started out, we were all in unison. We said we want a 5% cut, a 5% cut from every department, come hell or high water.
Amen.
And if they didn't comply to that, then we would have made the choices of layoffs and furloughs, okay? And see you later if you didn't comply. It all started out very well, okay, until the end result, when every department evidently took their turn and walked into the mayor's office and started crying. So they slowly backed down, and they settled on a less than 1 mil increase. So again, you know, they make it sound like, well, it's only $6 a week, it's only $25 a week. Well, that's a drop in the bucket to these individuals who are making $100,000 a year and don't even live in the city of Waterbury, so they don't contribute to the tax burden. So, you know, I could stand here and I can complain, but we tried, and, you know, it's just that the people who we try to convince have a tremendous ego problem, okay? And I mean that sincerely. They have a tremendous ego problem. They are what you call, you know, the cocky bunch. There's nothing we can do about it, okay? The people will get mad, but they'll get over it, and they'll pay their taxes. So until we can say enough is enough, and we unite, numbers mean a big thing. Thank you. I apologize, you know, I don't want to try and steal the show, but there's one subject that has been bothering me now for the last 2.5, 3 years. If you just look around our green, our downtown Waterbury here, the vibrancy, look at it. Look at hundreds and hundreds of people walking around downtown. I say that because I try to cut one item out of the budget. Our economic developer, Mr. John Rowland, whose building I'm looking at now across the street. Okay? In 2.5 to 3 years, he's done absolutely nothing for his $125,000 a year salary.
And he got a raise this year. He got a raise?
So when they tell me that Waterbury is on the move, we've done so much in the last 8 to 10 years. We've had 8 balanced budgets. But I said to the mayor, isn't it convenient? You had 8 balanced budgets, but this budget you can't balance because you're on your way out of Waterbury. Okay? You hit and ran, Mr. Mayor. That's what you did. Well, for you Democratic aldermen who control everything here in this city of Waterbury, don't get too comfortable, because the people have had it and they said enough is enough. Thank you.